welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have this full beat makeup tutorial right here. I decided to go with a black smoky eye, but we have that red peeking through, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's Valentine's Day appropriate. I know this is definitely not a look for everyone, especially not for Valentine's Day, but for me it is. I like something a bit more sultry, more sexy, more in your face, more just intense. That's just my vibe this Valentine's, this year. It's just my vibe. But if you want something a bit more subtle, let me know and I can probably do it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it on YouTube, but go follow me on Facebook because I do live makeup tutorials there. Before we get started into the video, if you're not yet a part of our TSQUAD family, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click that bell so YouTube will alert you when I do upload a video, which is 3 times a week, every single week. I have a lot of reviews coming up for you guys. Before we jump into anything else, is this new? Can somebody tell me, is this concealer new? This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Long Wearing Concealer with niacinamide, something like that. But I know I've reviewed the other concealers and also the foundations, the matte, the hydrating, all of that. But I recently saw this in Ulta and I was like, are you new? It said new to me. And it says it's 20% more coverage and 16-hour wear. Let me know if it's new, because if it's new then I'll review it. If it's not new then I'll probably include it in a video, but I'm curious about that product. But anyways, that was so random and off topic, right? Thumbs up the video if you like my tutorials, my reviews, just thumbs it up. I don't know how to recreate this eye look. If you want to know the products on my skin, then let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so this is the eye look that we're going to be doing. We have a little bit of red, a little bit of brown peeking through, but it's still a black smoky eye. I feel like it looks very elegant, very sexy. This is definitely something a bit more out there. You know, if you would rock a black smoky eye on your first date, let me know, I'm curious. I feel like not a lot of people would, but I'm one of those crazy ones. I feel like I would. So anyways, we're gonna get started on this eye. First product that I'm taking is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I do have this one in the shade Light Beige, and I'm only going to apply a little bit to prime my eyelids. I'm going to take this on a Luxie large shader brush. This is the 209, and I'm just going to buff the concealer real quick. This is just going to cover up any veinage, any discoloration that my eyelids might have. And it's also going to act as a sticky base for the shadows to grip onto. I feel like with any eye look, you should definitely use an eyeshadow primer. But especially smoky eyes, I feel like you want something sticky so that the black sticks to it. And you can tell that I'm bringing this from inner to outer corner. And the reason being is because I am going to drag the black basically everywhere from inner to outer corner. Now that I have the concealer laid down, I'm just going to go ahead and take my finger and kind of tap into the concealer. I like to warm the product into my skin. Alright guys, so now that the concealer is laid down, now I'm going to go into this palette here. This is the Bad Habit Aphrodite palette. I'm going to begin by taking this brown shade here. So to use this as a crease color all over my crease, this is going to be my transition shade. I'm just going to go ahead and rock this on my eye socket from inner to outer corner. I'm also dragging it a little bit outwards just because I want this to be a little bit more blown out. I'm going to pick up a Morphe M433 brush to pick up this red shade here from the palette. I'm going to go ahead and take that shade and I'm going to begin by stamping it on my crease right underneath that first shade. I'm going to begin to slowly work it into my crease area. I'm also going to mix some of this Romance shade, which has more of like an orange undertone. And I'm going to pop that orange right above that red. It's okay if we get color on the lid because right now I'm going to apply concealer on it and you'll see what I need in a second. So it's okay to start low and work your way up just because I feel like that's going to be easier when doing a smoky eye. Now I'm going to take this Bone Shadow. That one has a yellow undertone to it. And I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to highlight my brow bone. Also setting the concealer underneath there just because I didn't set it. You guys saw that I didn't set the concealer, so this is just going to help. It's just going to help clean up that area as well. Now I'm going to go back into my blending brush and kind of blend everything together. Okay guys, so now I'm going to take the same concealer and I'm going to pop some on my lid just like that. And we're not really cutting the crease or anything like that. This is just very messy. And I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to begin by patting it. Patting it all over the center of the lid. This is just going to help the black to kind of get a grip, and it is also just going to make the black pop even more. You can also use a black gel liner. I'm going to do the exact same thing as this, but I like to do it this way because it doesn't look too chunky or too messy or just too much, you know? Now I'm actually going to take a different black from a different palette, just because the black in the Aphrodite palette isn't as black as I would wanted it to. It has more of like a gray undertone to it. I'm going to take this black from this ColourPop palette. I'm going to begin by tapping the black all over my lid. See how this black just looks very, very black? Once I'm done packing the black, I'm now going to go back into the Morphe M433 brush that we used with the red. And I'm going to begin by blending out the outer corners of that black. And remember, from inner to outer corner. And this is also a repeated process. I'm going to go back in, stamp more black, go in and blend it, and back and forth. So it's going to take a minute. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this real quick. I'm also lifting my eye here, as you guys can see, and blending into that crease, just so that there isn't any product like stuck in there and you can't see like the division between the red and the black, if that makes sense. Alright guys, so now we're going to move on to primer. Mattifying primer, guys. This is the Real Tea by Laura Sanchez. I'm going to focus this on my nose area, which is where I tend to get oily. Feels moisturizing, and we'll see how it looks with foundation on, but it looks very moisturizing. It doesn't really feel matte or drying on the skin, which I like. You guys know that I am a fan of her Martini Prep primer. That one is more like a moisturizing primer, but this one is supposed to be oil controlling. It is supposed to be a mattifying primer, and it is also supposed to help with your pores. So we'll see how it does with foundation. For foundation, guys, I'm going to take the Beauty Creations foundation. I have a review on this, and I believe I have a wear test as well. In case you're interested, I'll leave it in the eye and down below. But it is a full coverage foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. Now I'm going to move on to cream contour. I'm going to take the stick foundation from them in the shade of 12. You guys already know. I'm going to go ahead and blend this out real quick. Now I'm going to move on to concealer, and I'm going to take the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have this one in the shade Light Sand, which is a shade lighter, or a couple shades lighter than the one I normally use. But because I really want to brighten up my under eyes, I'm going to take this shade today. Alright guys, now I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes with the Fit Me Loose powder in the shade Fair. This one is very brightening underneath of my eyes, so that's why I'm going to set with this one underneath here. I'm just going to go ahead and take some and begin to set. And to set the rest of my skin, I'm going to go ahead and take the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. This one does look beautiful in photos, so I really recommend you use this one for the rest of your face if you want, you know, to look good in photos. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the Morphe bronzer in the shade Icon, and I'm going to take this on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go ahead and warm my skin up. Contour, I'm going to take this Morphe contour in the shade Debutante. For blush, I'm going to take the Blush Box by Catrice in the shade Golden Coral. This one has more of like a corally undertone, so I think it's perfect for a night out, especially for Valentine's Day. Before we finish off the face, I'm going to move on to the lower lash line, and I'm going to go back into the Aphrodite palette. But before I do that, I'm actually going to line my waterline with a black eyeliner. I'm just taking this LA Girl liner. It's not lining my waterline how I wanted to, so I'm actually going to move to the black liner by Morphe, and this one is in the shade Dark Room. And I'm lining my waterline very messy. I'm also going to bring it underneath my waterline. Just like that. To take a fluffy brush, and I'm going to pick up some of the red shade, and I'm going to mix it in with this one right here. I'm going to begin to buff this on my lower lash line. I'm basically blending the eyeliner that I put right there, like underneath my lower lash line, but while I'm blending it, I'm smudging that red shade with it as well. I'm going to do the same thing to this eye. Do it ever so lightly so that you don't make a mess, because I feel like when you play around with blacks, just like I am, it can look dirty if you don't know how to blend it. You know what I mean? So ever so lightly. So I went ahead and dimmed down the lights just so you guys can take a closer look at the eye look. I'm going to go ahead and set the skin, and for that I'm going to take the Morphe setting spray. I'm going to move on to highlighter. This is the Guilty Glow highlighter by Vermona. This does have a gold undertone to it. This one is in the shade Forbidden. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply this lipstick. So this is a nude lipstick. I mean, you can wear red if you want to, but I'm going to see how it looks with this nude one. I'm just going to go ahead and line them because I feel like Keep It Spicy with this lip color wasn't giving it to me. I need something a bit more brown. Just like that. And I'm going to put just a little bit more on the center. Alright guys, and this is the finished and completed look. This is what everything looks like. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comment section. I actually really like how everything looks. It's just like very atrevida, if you will. I went ahead and dimmed down the lights just so you guys can see the colors and everything, how, you know, it looks. Also follow me on social media, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. I do live videos on Facebook and giveaways over there. So if you're not yet part of our TSQUAD family, please subscribe in the link below. Hit that notification bell so YouTube alerts you when I do upload a video. Guys, with all that being said, I will catch you guys very soon in my next one. Bye guys.